Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me out there? Just trying to make sure everything is going okay on my end. Can y'all hear me? Hey, can anybody, can y'all, yeah, you can hear, Chris, you can hear me? Okay. Welcome, everybody. This is Knives Live 2022. I feel privileged to be a part of this. Not sure how many streams y'all have hit so far. I've been in and out of all of them so far. I have family here today, so not hitting as much as I wanted to. Um, we will be having a giveaway at the end of this for everybody who joined in tonight. And in order to enter this giveaway at the end that we're going to pick for, anytime during this video, go to my last posted video. It's 3 knives you need to check out, not my short, my last posted video. Go to it, and anywhere in the comments, put knife rights in the comments, and we'll be picking for the Hogue Deca. This thing is in like new condition. We'll be giving that away, and I'll make that announcement again later on. How y'all doing tonight? Let's see. Hey Stacy. Hey Sharp Guy TX. Jason Lee. Scott. Theo Lord. Other than intended purpose. How's it going, everybody? Hey Kyle. Dwayne Letterman. Ken Faulkner. Have y'all been hitting the other streams? After me tonight, Wayne Sharp World will be picking it up, and plenty of other people. I mean, y'all know the drill. 24 hours of awesomeness. Evening Tide. What's going on, Roman? The whack job. D Metal. Oh, thank you, Zach. I appreciate it. And yes, do something kind for someone. What's going on, Ethan? Z Man. We'll let everybody kind of pop in before we bring in Mr. Doug. Let's see. Caught them all. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I've been in and out. How's it going, Tree? How's it going, Tree Stabbing Troy? Yeah, it's always a good time. Kind of feels like a mini Blade show or something. What's going on, Paul? Manny Z. Mm-mm-mm. In the description of whenever this goes, when it uploads to YouTube, in the description, there will be how to enter the Knife Rights giveaway. If you haven't done that yet, definitely you're going to want to go ahead and do that. You go donate to Knife Rights. If you donate $10, every $10 donation, you get a chance at the grand prize giveaway. And if you do a membership, $35 membership, I think it's 4 entries, and you email your entry to, let me see if I have that. I think I have it written down. You email it to kniveslive2021@gmail.com. And there's tons of awesome prizes. I think there's tons of prizes. So good, a lot of chance to win, and doing something awesome, for the organization that helps abolish some silly knife laws. They've helped out us in Louisiana and tons of other places. What's going on, Scab? What's going on, Mike? Ken Faulkner. All right, how many? We got 105 in here. I'm going to bring on Mr. Doug Ritter, and we're going to talk about his organization for a minute. Let's see. Let me get down here. Hello.
There we are.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Uh, I'm sure you've been hitting quite a few of these so far, or what?
You're the third I've appeared on this evening. I've been trying to tune into all of them.
Yeah,
And,
same here.
and
I got family in, so I've been, not I don't want to get in trouble with the family, so I'm going back and forth. You know, they understand. I'm not neglecting them in any means. Uh, so for the people who haven't caught any of your streams, can you give them, a summary of what Knife Rights is, what y'all do?
sure. So we are a national nonpartisan civil rights organization. We go around the country getting rid of bad knife laws. Um, since 2010, 40 bills signed in 26 states.
That's
And
awesome.
that's awesome. Our latest was yesterday in Pennsylvania, typical of a lot of what we do. Strong bipartisan support. It got out of the House 202 to 1, got out of the Senate 50 to 0, signed by Governor Wolf. Um, that's what we do. We sometimes we get things done in a year. Sometimes, like Pennsylvania, it took a decade of efforts. Uh, New York was 9.5 years, over $1 million fighting their New York City's abuse of their gravity knife law to prosecute over 70,000 people for just carrying a simple
Wow.
pocket knife. Um,
Wow.
this is what we do, and this is my passion. You know,
What got you
none of
started?
these laws make any sense. Let's
No.
get rid of them.
It's got to be. Is it from laws that were made back in like the 70s, whenever they would have the switchblades in the movies, and it was like an intimidating thing? Because it just doesn't make any sense.
So there's really two periods of time where we got these knife restrictions from. So the restrictions against carrying a Bowie knife, carrying a knife over X amount of inches. Most of those came in mostly in the southern states after the Civil War. They already had laws on the books that kept blacks from carrying guns. And then, so blacks didn't want to get arrested for carrying a gun. They started carrying big knives, Bowie knives. And so they outlawed that. Um, Now that was unconstitutional at the time. It's still unconstitutional, but you couldn't carry a Bowie knife in Texas, of all places, and we were eventually able to repeal that law. So you have right after the Civil War, you get all these restrictions, and then in the 1950s, we saw the restrictions come in on switchblades. That was the result, basically, from one so-called journalist writing really bad articles demonizing switchblades. It became his thing, became politicians' things. Hollywood jumped in and Broadway jumped in, and we had all these movies that demonized switchblades. And so almost basically half the states came up with some sort of restrictions on switchblades. Some were total bans. For example, Virginia, which we repealed earlier this year, again with bipartisan support, simply no possession, no anything. Not even legal for cops to own or carry them.
Wow.
And then you had half the nation which said, okay, we don't care. Switchblades are okay.
Yeah.
So you had, right after the Civil War, in the 1950s, that's where most of this stuff comes from. There have been a few here and there that have come into being since then, but besides, the 40 bills that we've got signed, there's been 10 bills in 6 states that we'd help defeat. I mean, right now we're working in New Jersey, working with our friends in New Jersey to defeat a bill that would, for all practical purposes, make it illegal to carry a knife almost anywhere in New Jersey. And if they stop you, they could charge you with a felony level crime. Because
that's crazy.
we think about that's crazy, but that doesn't stop legislators from doing really stupid stuff.
No.
We with the assistance of our friends at the New Jersey NRA affiliate, we were able to get that taken out of the Senate version of the bill. So that was a huge start. Now we just need to get the Assembly to amend their bill. And it'll still be bad for gun owners, but at least knife owners, people playing baseball, carrying a baseball bat, or a worker carrying, almost any tool,
a kitchen
isn't going to get charged with a felony. But I mean, New Jersey's bad. New Jersey's the only state in the nation where simply carrying an illegal knife is automatically a felony.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, it's not insane because it's their law, but
it is insane.
Yeah,
and our job is to, get rid of these stupid laws.
Yeah, because I mean, I'd read somewhere or watched on something that they say that majority of your knife crimes are from kitchen knives. Is that
sure?
That's accurate. I mean, because they say it's the quickest thing they can grab, and they grab a kitchen knife.
It's usually a result of a domestic disturbance.
Yeah.
They get, couple gets to arguing in the kitchen, what's at hand, kitchen knives. The vast majority of homicides in America are the result of kitchen knives. I would love to be able to cite a study that says that, but that would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's not a statistic that the FBI keeps track of. For example, they lump knives with other things. They don't determine what kind of knife in their statistics they track. But you talk to almost anybody in law enforcement or in EMS, and they'll tell you what, it's kitchen knives, guys. We're not picking up people carrying switchblades or Bowie knives. It's kitchen knives.
Kitchen knives. Yep. I mean, any crime show that I've ever watched that they show somebody in their weapons on the ground, it's a beat up kitchen knife. I don't think I've ever seen one with a pocket knife. So,
and Hollywood really did us a disfavor when they started demonizing switchblades in the movies, which they do to a certain extent even today, and we live with that. When we go into a legislature and we start talking to legislators, it's like they still carry these prejudices and these biases from having watched West Side Story as a kid.
Yeah.
And so we can overcome that if we can sit down with the legislators, explain to them how it works, explain to them that, switchblades are no quicker to open than any number of one-hand opening knives that are perfectly legal. But it does take time. It does take showing up, and sometimes it takes years.
Yeah.
So that's the way it works.
And how because I think I know most of this answer, but how do you fund your projects? I know some of it's by these right here.
So my knives contribute it not directly, but the knives are what keep my RSK knives that KnifeWorks sell exclusively. That's what keeps the roof over my head. I don't take a salary or an hourly wage or anything from Knife Rights. All these years of doing this has been on me. That's my passion. But I couldn't afford to spend 95% of my time working on Knife Rights if I had to have a real job. So the knives are an important part of it. I feel blessed that Hogue is building me just killer blades. They continue to be popular. The majority of the actual funds that we spend in order to legislate, to litigate, to go to court, about 1/3 comes from the industry, retailers, manufacturers, folks like that. About 1/3 comes from a few very generous donors, and about 1/3 broadly speaking, comes from our annual fundraiser, the Ultimate Steel. When you guys did Knives Live last year, that was the largest single donation fundraiser by any outside group that had ever helped with us. I mean, that was
That's awesome.
staggering for us. Um, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you might say it's a small amount, but when I and my lobbyists are both traveling 100,000 miles a year, raising thousands of dollars is a huge help to us.
Oh, I can
Huge help. I mean, I hate getting on an airplane, but we get things done because we show up at the legislature. We get things done because we don't give up. If it takes 10 years, we're going to keep plugging away till we get it done. And if they pass a law or pass a repeal, get rid of a law because they're just tired of seeing us, that's okay.
Yeah. Either
As
way.
long as we get rid of the law, I don't care. But that it's perseverance. And so the folks who are donating tonight, this is hugely important to us. I spend most of my time raising funds, not actually working in the legislatures and doing that kind of stuff, because we have to raise about 300,000, probably a little more if we want to continue doing this every year. And compared to other advocacy organizations, that's very little.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get a salary. My wife doesn't get a salary. The only one on board that gets a salary or on contract is my lobbyist.
Yeah.
So, for some reason, he wants to be able to feed his kids. I don't get it. But he insists on getting paid, and he's good at it. 40
That's
bills. He's
That's
been with me from the beginning. So we think we give everybody a really good return on their investment. That's really what when folks donate to us, it's an investment not just in freedom for folks in the U.S. and all that good stuff, but I don't want my grandkids to grow up even knowing there were bad knife laws.
Yeah. Or have to deal with what we did.
This is stuff that we can do together to make a difference for generations to come.
Oh, you've already done, a ton for
Thank you.
generations to come.
But I'm not going to run out of work to do. But if I'm going to continue to do it, we need to continue to raise money. And folks, I can't do it without you. All the passion in the world doesn't pay for an airline ticket or a hotel room or any of the other things that it takes to get the job done.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but that's the way the real world works. And one of the reasons we're successful is we understand how things work in the real world. And we play the game that has to be played, but we play to win.
That's always a good thing for us. Definitely. How do you go about choosing the next state that you're going to start to go after?
So that happens a few different ways. One is that we make a connection with a sponsor, either because they've seen what we do in other states and contact us and say, hey, I want to fix my state. And then we work with them to develop a bill. Sometimes they see what we're doing, they contact us. Other times, for example, the end of this month, we're going to the National Assembly of Sportsmen's Caucuses Summit, which is a gathering of about, I think, 42 or 43 states will be there this year. Their leadership of their sportsmen's caucuses. We're a sponsor to the event. We get the opportunity to interact with all these legislators, and we pick up about a third of our sponsors that way. So it's been very beneficial to us. It's the only such event that we do. And then I would say about a third of our bills come because a legislator sees what's been done in another state, often a neighboring state, and they file a bill, and we get a notice that the bill's filed, and we'll contact them because filing the bill is the easy part.
Mhm.
Getting the bill passed is the hard part, and that's our job, because the legislature needs the support, the arguments, the showing up at hearings, the working the floor, and that's what we do really well. And oftentimes they'll file a bill and not having our input. The first thing we have to do is say, okay, this we really appreciate you filed this bill, but there are some problems, or we think you can get more done than you thought you could get done. And so one of our first tasks is often getting them to amend the bill to be a better bill
Yeah.
that makes it easier for us to pass, or allows us to get more done that they ever thought was possible. They dip their toe in the water and we're like, jump in, because we now have a track record that we can show these legislators and say, here's what happened. He started out there. We were able to get this bill passed. We can get a lot more done if you will let us do it. Because legislators are like, I'll do a little. And we're like, no, we're going to do a lot. And when we convince of that, we're almost always successful. It may take a few years sometimes, but if you keep coming back and you've got good arguments and you work with both sides of the aisle like we do, then you can get this stuff done. You just got to keep at it.
Keep on being persistent. uh, have you ever had any of them, like when the new governor comes, any of them reinstated?
We have never had a law that we repealed reinstated.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
which is a great argument when you talk to legislators, because
Yeah.
they're like, no, really, we've done at this point 40 of these. Nobody has ever said, oh, that was a terrible idea. We need to reinstate the law. What they discover is it makes absolutely no difference. But
Yeah.
now people can carry what knives they want, which is the whole idea.
Yeah. Well, we got a super chat, and it says Doug Ritter says thank you for all you do. I always donate for the cause, especially because I'm in NYC. They need all the help they can get.
They do. I mean, look, we spent 9.5 years and almost $1 million fighting New York City. I mean, over a decade, they arrested over 70,000 people and prosecuted them, some of which were prosecuted as felonies, and they ended up literally going up the river to the jail. So, yeah, New York City was a real problem. The governor vetoed our bill twice. Our federal civil rights lawsuit uh, was at the circuit, appealed to the Second Circuit twice, and then we were on appeal to the Supreme Court a week from conference, which is when they decide whether they're going to take the cases or not. Got our bill through the legislature again, the New York legislature with one nay vote, and the governor finally signed the bill rather than have us take it to the Supreme Court and win an even bigger victory.
That's
So,
awesome.
but that was 9.5 years. That was almost a decade of work and almost $1 million invested. But, if we didn't do that, you know, that was 2019. We're now 3.5 years later. There would be another 15 to 18,000 people that would have been prosecuted for carrying common pocket knives in New York City.
That's insane. That's crazy.
And 86% of those were people of color.
Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Uh, what other states have the pushback like New York that you've dealt with?
So we had Virginia, where we tried for years, I think 5 or 6 years, 2 vetoes by the governor. This year we got it done in a legislature where one house was Republican, one house was Democrat. We got it through both houses unanimously and signed by the new governor. Sometimes it's just sticking to it. Pennsylvania, which we just got signed on yesterday, yeah, lost track of time. Yesterday, that was a 10-year effort. We've had a number of bills in Pennsylvania. One year it looked like, we were in really good shape, and there was a terrible stabbing at a school. Like 13 kids were stabbed.
Oof.
Thankfully, no one was killed. But even though that has nothing to do with the bill, that it's like, okay, knives, stabbing, bad. That's it.
Yeah.
When we've had situations where we've gotten a bill passed and there's a newsworthy stabbing, and the governor won't sign it.
Mm-mm.
When we get something done, we hold our breath. Please, nothing terrible happened involving knives for the next week or two or whatever it is that the governor has to sign it. But it's that just sort of random.
Yeah.
You have no control over it. When we were in Texas working on their bill and trying to get rid of their length limit, literally there was a young man stabbed at the University of Texas, a block from the legislature, block from the state house. Okay. And our bill almost died. And, by making a few adjustments and really, really working hard at it, I mean, my lobbyist spent almost a month in Texas, in Austin, working on this. We were able to salvage the bill, except for a few exceptions, and get it done. But it was touch and go there for a while. And that's an example where having the bipartisan support, getting support from both sides of the aisle, having both Republican and Democratic sponsors for our bill really, really helped us over that hump. So, we're a Second Amendment organization, but because, just to make it clear, the Second Amendment says nothing about firearms. It says arms, so knives are included. But we're the only Second Amendment organization that gets support from both sides of the aisle, and there are a couple reasons for that. One is they're not guns, and also, very importantly, it's criminal justice reform. We were talking about New York City, where 86% of the people prosecuted were persons of color. When we go to and talk to legislators, and they see what's happening and how unfair and irrational this stuff is, we can point to these things and they can go, well, we can get on board with this because this is criminal justice reform. You shouldn't have to worry about being arrested and prosecuted just because you're carrying a different kind of knife that someone decades ago decided, was evil.
Yeah. Real quick before they go away, we had 2 super chats. One from Blades and EDC said, "Thank you for all you do, Doug. By the way, the RSK is much better than the Griptilian." And there was also one from it went away by now, but it's from Mike Yee. He said he wish he had you in Australia, or Doug in Australia.
I get a lot of emails from folks in England and Europe and Australia and Japan, asking us if we can, at Canada, asking us if we can go fix their knife laws. And I said, I'm happy to offer you advice. I got my hands full just in the U.S. But the crux of the matter is they don't have the political system that we have, which allows us to go state by state, and where there's this history of freedom and the government telling what you can own, or possess. They don't have that we have. I mean, we get legislators who ask us the question, sometimes in public hearings, why does anyone need a switchblade? Or why does anyone need a knife over, pick a number, 6 inches? And the answer is really simple. We live in America. America is not about needs. It's about want. You want a car with 450 horsepower? Go for it. I may or may not agree with that, but this is America. You get to choose. Same thing with knives. Nobody needs these knives. I mean, you're not in the business of fulfilling needs. You're in the business of talking about people's wants.
Yeah.
And, if they want a switchblade, if they want a gravity knife, if they want it out the front, if they want a Bowie knife, and they want to carry it, it's
Let them carry.
America. It's America.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Government doesn't need to tell us what we can do.
Nope. We already have enough of that going on. You know.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me make sure. I don't make sure we didn't miss any. Uh, oh, I did catch one of the comments that said, "Does your lobbyist carry a knife, and if so, which one?"
So he often carries multiple knives, except in situations where he's not allowed in the Capitol with a knife.
Yeah.
And sometimes he's carrying my knife, sometimes he's carrying other knives. I'm not really going to go there. I mean, one of the funniest occurrences was, I think it was in Texas. So he has a set of trainers that we use to demonstrate the differences, or not the differences, so to speak, between a one-hand opening knife, a flipper, an automatic knife, and how they all open quickly. and they got no edge. They're trainers, and the guy manning the metal detector booth wasn't going to let him through. He called up our sponsor, who came down and was like, gave the deputy and it's like, okay, you can go.
That's crazy.
We had a presentation for a governor once, and her protection detail was just totally freaked out that we wanted to present her with this engraved knife, and so they insisted on handling it, and they would give it to me to give to her, and then she would have to give him back, and it was all going to be for show. And we had a wonderful meeting, and we gave her the knife, and she played with it, and they're like waiting to get it back, and she sticks it in her handbag and says, "Thank you so much." And it was a great feeling. Yeah, she
Awesome.
appreciated it. She carried a knife since she was a kid. So we have instances like, it's a great feeling, for example, to give an automatic knife to a governor who's never played with one, who's never owned one, and like they stand there flipping it, and they're like, "This is really cool." Yeah, you made that knife legal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's really cool.
And we get Democratic governors, Republican governors. We get them from both sides of the aisle that support what we're doing.
That's always good to hear. I mean, when I hear some of my friends from New York and those areas that talk about how bad their laws are, it's like, man, which I know, I mean, you recently got our auto law overturned here in Louisiana. So, that it wasn't the biggest deal for me not to carry one, but it was a big deal that it was the law. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's
yeah.
just
so here's the problem, that we get a lot of people who tell us, "Well, I don't care what the law is, I carry it, and I've never had a problem." And that's fine. And it's not a problem till it becomes a problem, till you get stopped by somebody, I don't know, jaywalking, a traffic ticket. And, do you have a knife on you? Do you have a weapon on you? And next thing you know, you're handcuffed and going to jail. Okay. So it's not a problem till it's a problem. Our goal is to make sure it's never a problem.
Yeah.
Because we don't want people going to jail just because they want to carry a certain kind of knife.
Yeah. And that's awesome, because I mean, for those of you who don't know, he's the only person doing this for us. Like, we don't have anybody else. So that's why it's so important. I mean, and people with you, I'm saying, it's important to support somebody who helps, even if he's already done your state, doesn't mean you need to stop. I still support him, and he's done mine, because he's helping out everybody.
And I appreciate it. And that's important, that, whether it's going to be a while till we get to your state because you're California and your legislators really difficult to deal with, or it's a state like yours where we've already accomplished it. You know, by supporting us, you're helping everybody. And more important, you're helping your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids. Okay, so we fixed Louisiana, and you're like, okay, you fixed my state. I don't need to do this anymore. Well,
Yeah,
what about your grandkid that moves to New
exactly.
Jersey?
Yep.
Okay, everybody has a stake in this. We all have a stake in freedom, and for a relatively small investment, you can make a difference.
Yep.
All of you folks who are donating, it's huge part of our success is your involvement. And if you're not in a position to donate, I get it. Talk to your friends, get them involved, because when we need folks to write in about a bill in a particular state, the more people that write, the more people that use our software to send an email to a chairman of a committee or to legislators, the more likely we're going to be successful. So the more you can reach out, expand our influence to a wider net, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
Real quick, thank you, Bishop Lewis, for the super chat, and he was thanking you as well for everything you
Thank you.
do. And also, we have Jeremiah Moses. He said, "Hi there, brother man. Just do something kind. I've already donated, just showing some love. We appreciate it. Thank you very much."
Thank you.
um, what state are you focusing on now, or have you started?
Oh, tricky question. Um, so we're basically finished with this year with the signing of the PA bill. That was Pennsylvania was our last bill this year.
Yeah,
Right now, there are 12 states on the list for next year. That may grow depending upon the results of the election. And I can almost guarantee you we're going to meet some people at this NASC event we're going to at the end of the month. We're going to meet some legislators who decide to do it. So we could easily have 15 or 18 states that we're going into. Most of those I'm not going to talk about because we've learned the hard way that it isn't a bill until it actually gets filed. And a lot of things can make that not happen, no
yeah,
matter the best of intentions. But, we will be back in Virginia and Pennsylvania to work towards knife law preemption, because now we got autos legal, but you cross a line on a map and suddenly you can be arrested. So
yeah,
that's really unfair. So knife law preemption means that local laws are preempted. Local laws go away. The only law you need concern with is the state law. And there's no way we can afford to get involved in changing local laws. That's just
yeah,
a morass. But if we get the state law fixed and we get knife law preemption passed, or if they've got good laws and we get knife law preemption passed, then all those terrible local laws go away automatically.
yeah,
So it's the only efficient way to do it. We were the first, we passed the first knife law preemption law in the nation in Arizona in 2010. I think we're up to like 16 states now. So we got a ways to go. I'm not going to run out of work anytime soon. But I think we're making. I'm pretty proud of our success to this point, considering when I started, most people told me I was crazy and that we'd never get a law repealing any knife ban passed.
yeah. I definitely think it's amazing of what you have accomplished. Over how many years have you been doing this?
So we started knife rights I started knife rights in 2006, in December of 2006, after this terrible article in the Wall Street Journal that got me pissed. And I traveled to Europe, I traveled to England, I saw how bad their knife laws, and it's like, apparently, if you get me pissed, I start an organization and eventually start repealing laws. So we started in 2006. 2009, we helped a coalition of organizations work with Congress to turn back the Obama Customs and Border Patrol, who were trying to expand the definition of automatic knife of a switchblade to include pretty much any knife you could open quickly. So that resulted in the 5th exemption of the Federal Switchblade Act, you know, ensuring that those kind of knives could never be included in the definition. And then 2010 was when we passed our first 2 bills. New Hampshire, we got rid of their ban on switchblades, dirks, daggers, and stilettos. The first repeal of a knife ban in the nation's history. And in Arizona, which already had good knife laws, or no knife laws, I should say, we passed the nation's first knife law preemption bill. And we've just gone on from there.
Awesome. Awesome.
So 13 years that we've really been busy at the state level, 14 years total.
Wow. It's a lot. It's a lot. We got
longest time I have been doing one thing in my entire life.
We got a super chat from 5 Door Estate. He said, support from Texas. Appreciate all you do, Mr. Ritter.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And, you know, I'll just put another pitch out there about my knives. This is what allows me to do this. Okay, great. The orange, super. These knives keep a roof over my head and let me do knife rights. And, you know, I'm pleased that so many people enjoy them and like them. And it's gratifying that I don't have to shill for a crappy knife. I mean, Hogue is killing it for me.
Yeah.
You know, check them out. Pretty sure you'll like them.
Oh, no doubt. I've owned this. I've given one to my father-in-law, my brother-in-law. It's probably my most gifted knife because it's USA made. It's built well. And just a quick story. When I first found out about your knife, whenever you were with Benchmade, like I said, because I'm from Louisiana, so you know, Knife Works is, I mean, it's still far away from me, but it's in my state. So the Benchmade Ritter was my first grill knife I ever had. Just because, you know, I just had started. I was in my $60 price range. Boy, has that changed. But
yeah,
you know, that was my first, like, oh, I'm gonna get that knife. I'm gonna get it. I did. I ended up getting both of them.
super. That's great. I mean, when I first started this, Les Diasis and I had known each other for years. We actually met on CompuServe back in the day, online. And I kept bugging him. I wanted to do this knife. And he's like, nobody is going to buy what at that time was the premium blade steel S30V in, at that time, a Griptilian handle. Said, nobody's going to buy a high-end blade steel in a cheap plastic handle. And he said, but if you want them, you can buy them. And I found a partner, and we did. And you know, it turns out I started a trend because you can find a lot of really high-end steels in relatively inexpensive handles today.
Yeah.
And I'm good with that. I'm happy to be a trendsetter.
Yeah. The cool thing, hey, you're setting trends a lot, not just in that knife. You know, everybody should know of you if they're in the knife community. I mean,
Thank you.
Try. I think a lot of the other reviewers and stuff, everybody tries. It seems like, you know, if they're gonna say the word, you know, the Hogue RSK, they're gonna talk about it, what it entails if you buy this knife. I know I do every time I talk about this knife because it's in a lot of my top 10 videos of, you know.
That's great. I really appreciate it. You know, it says a lot when people who could have any knife they want are talking about my knives. I mean, that's a great feeling. When people who know a lot about knives like you and other reviewers are gifting them to their family and friends, I mean, I don't think there's a better compliment as a knife designer that you can have than that.
Not.
So thank you.
No problem. It's my pleasure. You know, everybody that I give it to, you should see my father-in-law. He sends it back to me about once a month to sharpen it for him.
He must use it a lot.
Oh, does he? He's beating it. I said, I see him. I have to get you another one here soon because he uses it for everything, which is what I wanted him to do. It's a knife. He's not prying nothing open with it, but he's hard on them. But I love gifting a knife to somebody and seeing that they actually use it. That brings me so much joy.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better feeling in the world than giving someone something that they didn't know they needed necessarily, and all of a sudden they're using it and loving it because it's become an indispensable part of their life.
Yeah.
I design knives to be used. I design knives to work with, and it's great that I have collectors who collect them. But the fact is, it's designed to be an EDC. It's designed to take abuse. It's designed to work every day for you.
Yeah. No doubt. It was a great design from one company, and even better, the new company.
Hogue really is doing an incredible job. And when we switched from the plastic handle to a G10 handle, I mean, if you look at the machining that goes into that handle, I
Yes.
mean, this is not something that gets done on a milling machine in 2 minutes. Trust me.
No.
So
And they're contoured.
it's and they're just doing a killer job of it. I just love it that um, that I have absolute confidence that when people get one of these knives, it's going to be built right. It's going to be smooth. The action's going to work, and there's a company that's going to stand behind it. And the rare instances when there is a problem, because they're production knives, little problems crop up, but they are the exception rather than the rule.
No doubt. Well, we're gonna wrap up. Because I still got to do a giveaway. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you spreading your knowledge with anybody who didn't know what your organization does, and I appreciate everything you do for us and for the people to come. Like you said before. Oh, and real quick, Mr. Pitt, thank you. He says, "Carry on, wayward son." All righty. So, anybody have any last questions before we go? Because I still got to do the giveaway before we let Mr. Wayne come on. I know somebody asked, are they doing any more of the carbon fiber magna cut? Or I bet you get that question 300 times a day.
I get that question a lot. We were astounded by how quickly that run sold out.
I can tell you that.
And we don't talk about, as a matter of policy, we don't talk about future production, but you learn from your successes is about all I'll say.
I mean, yeah, and you definitely don't want to put we are, because then it's a constant chirping at the company. Win.
There you go. You get it.
Well, I appreciate it, sir. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.
All right.
Take it easy.
Take care.
All right, guys and girls, for everybody who stayed around, if you want a chance at winning this Hogue Deca, this is the V1. It's pretty much brand new. I haven't carried it pretty much at all. If you want a chance to winning this, if you haven't already, go to my last video that I posted. Not my short, the 3 knives you should check out video. Go to that video, and in the comments, just type knife rights or whatever you want to say, but just make sure knife rights is in there. I'm gonna give y'all 3 or 4 minutes, and then we will choose the winner for the Hogue Deca. Let me see what's going on in the chats. I appreciate everybody who stopped by. Make sure whenever we wrap it up here, go over to Mr. Wayne's Sharp World. He will be going live next. He's a great guy as well. And let's keep this party going. Thank you, Edgy American. It says we need Stats 23 live weekly. I'm trying to work out a few more kinks, and hopefully I can get that going. I'm doing a lot of stuff right now behind the scenes. I'm trying to get a shop built. it's been a nightmare trying to get my shop built, but definitely, if I haven't done it by then, I will definitely start one once my shop is complete. And the reason why I say the shop is because I don't know if y'all have watched any of my videos where my crackhead dog barks like an absolute maniac anytime I hit that record button. So it's just hard. I'm ADD as can be, and when he starts barking, it just kind of throws me off. Um, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shane. I knew that. I did. I wasn't thinking. I saw that you changed it on Instagram. So yeah, Edgy American. That's Mr. Shane Gables. If you're not subscribed to him, go check him out. Same for Grateful Panic. Women Carry Knives. Who else in here has a channel? If you have a channel and you want me to shout you out, just let me know in the comments. Satisfaction as well. All these are great channels. And if you're not following any of the people that are on the banner for the Knives Live 2022, definitely go check out everybody on that list because they're all great guys and great members of the community because they're here. They're doing this and trying to raise awareness so people can carry knives in states. Try to help our stupid knife laws. Let's see. Other than intended purpose, he's got a channel. Go check him out. I'll check you out. I did not. Mr. Big Red EDC. Let's see. Samurai Bird. He's got a sword channel. I'll definitely go check you out. Mr. B's Blades. I don't know. Did he help Ohio? I don't know if you can help Ohioans. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Okay, we're going to give you a little bit more time to enter the giveaway. If you just popping in, you want a chance to win this Hogue Deca, go to my last video, the 3 knives you should check out video, and in the comments somewhere put knife rights, and you'll have a chance to win the knife. What were some of y'all? What were y'all carrying today? I'll let y'all see what's in my pockets. Let's see, my left pocket. Man, I can't remember this dang knife. Anybody remember this knife name? I love this little knife. CM Design knife from Best Tech. Super cool. Had this one in my left pocket. And in my right pocket, I have look at that sheath. I wet formed this sheath. Look how good that definition came out. And I cut me a little slot right here. My Jack Wolf Knives Midnight Jack was in the other pocket. And in my back pocket, I got, because I was in the garage today working on some stuff, got the new Grail Winkler SD. Love this little guy. Beauty. Comfortable. Let's see. The Raccoon. Cool knife. Penguin. Boker Hawkbill. Civivi Kai V. That's a sweet knife too. Whoa, I just lost it. Knife rights. You can put it either way. I'll type in both of those. CM Designs. The world is going. Yep. Wayne's Sharp World is going live next. Mr. Dirk Warning had to pull out. He had something come up. QSB Hawk Mini Beluga from Mr. Richard. Cubis variant PE2 and from Mr. Mike. And GEC Bullnose and ZT0462 from Patina Turner. Giant Mouse Ace Grand Kaiser Baglighter from Mr. David. I would love a free knife all my stuff is cheap D2, which I'm fine with. Well, did you enter, Jeff? You might be a lucky day today. Blades and EDC. Also go check him out. Sabenza 21 in Singo. I love my Singo 21. Wish I would still have my large though. Javon Knifeack, fantastic conversation with Doug. Appreciate it. Grumpy Grunt, also go check him out. All right, let's get this giveaway going so we don't take up any time from my buddy Wayne Sharp World. Okay, let me refresh the page. Copy the link. Okay. And paste. Done. Filter duplicate users. Include replies to comments. Filter comments based on specific text. All right. Knife. Right. Knife. Right. So give me a second. All right, done. And show 7. Get YouTube comments. All right, it's generating the comments with either version of knife rights in the comments, either is one word or 2 words. So let's see, it's taking forever. It's probably because I used 2 words, so hopefully they'll see what time is it. That's why. Hold on. 2. Get you down. All right. Hopefully it goes quicker than it is. I don't know why it's lagging, but as soon as it pops up, all the comments with that in there, I will hit the thing and I'll show y'all it scrolling through everybody's names. Why? What is going on here? Okay, we'll go to this one because this is not working. Trying to hurry people. Include replies. No. Continue. All right, here we go. We got 124. Well, hopefully this works right. What? Hold on. Void Visionary, are you in here? Let's see, did he? Really low. Void Visionary, are you in here? Void Visionary. He comments on a lot of my videos. I hope he's in here. Oh, Blade Ops is in here. Sweet. Definitely do some purchases at Blade Ops. Good people over there. Is Mr. Void Visionary in the chat? Anybody seen Mr. Void Visionary? Let me write his name down, and then I'll have a number 2 just in case. Oh, he's got to be in here to. Hopefully, he's in here. Has anybody seen him? Uh, let's pick one more just in case he doesn't come in. Has anybody seen Void Visionary in the chat at all? Okay. Well, we're going to pick another winner because, he's not going to see this at all. So let me see real quick. How about Broad Arrow 1? Are you in here? Broad Arrow 1. Please be in here. What's up, Lavender? Thank you. Man, he's not in here either? Can't tag them either. Okay. Well, we'll keep doing this until somebody. All right. It's funny. Mr. DJ Fuji, you are our winner, fellow. Email me at 23matassa@gmail.com. If it's not in the video below, it's not in the comments, it's in several other videos. Email me with your shipping information, and you are the winner of the Hogue Deca. I feel terrible that the other two didn't stick around, but I appreciate everybody for coming. I will try to do some more lives here in the near future, and y'all go check out Mr. Wayne Sharp World, and show him some love. All right, guys and girls, I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.